I hope we're live. We'll see if people can chime in.
3 waiting. Okay, so I see it now. So let me get the It says upcoming, right? Copy link. Copy link.
Let's see. I don't know why we're like opposite sides. That's weird. All right. We are live. I don't know where we're opposite though.
We're live right now. Hey,
Yeah,
everybody.
but I don't know where
Give
we're
me
opposite.
1 second. I'm
It's
gonna
kind of weird.
sharing this. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
I only see you and me, by the way. I don't see anything else on my screen. I just see me on the left, you on the right. I would love to see.
Well, you
some.
change the input on the monitor.
That's technical, but I'll try. To what?
I don't know. One of the HDMI's. Let's see. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I don't know again why the. Oh, you guys are still in the right spots for our viewing. Okay. Well, thank you. Somehow we're opposites in our screen, but they are seeing us the right way. So am I on the right? On you guys watching? Am I on the right? The right hand side?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm just
That's weird.
sharing this, and then I'm gonna jump into the conversation. It's good to see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling great. Let me get that out of the way. Really good. Am I dying? Well, that's not a good choice of word. Am I itching to dive? Okay. Oh yes, I am. I know there's gonna be so many questions, and let me just save that. Okay, we are going to be doing a second video with detailed follow-up. I believe I'm going to start off by saying that Dan is doing some really great things. Let's hold off on all of those questions so we can be factual rather than what we think. We're having a big meeting with them on February 10th. And good things are going to come from it. That's what I believe. And that's all I want to talk about. Say on that right now.
That's right.
But it's good to see everybody. We made some
here?
really cool videos, Gus and I, that are going to be coming out. When do you think that will one be released? Monday?
I think we should release one on Monday. Yeah.
Okay. So a really cool one on Monday. He'll pick. We did 3 really cool ones. So
Yeah.
I liked them all. They were really upbeat and positive. But it's good to see everybody. Yes, I'm doing great. Lots of comments were made on that special incident. And you guys don't really understand, although you will in the second video, how great Gus and Brian were. I know, right? Isn't it amazing, Gus? That isn't it always funny to see people add their own fact pattern and then they criticize
It's all right.
based on their facts that weren't the facts. That's the only part I think is funny. It's like, wait, I'm reading their comments, brutal, ripping you, or whatever, and then I'll be like, but that wasn't really the facts.
But remember that all these guys are better divers than us, me and Brian and you combined. So
that I know.
Keep that in mind.
That's a given.
Keep that in mind. They are there to show they're better and teach us a lesson.
Not just the diving. The diving part, that's a given. We are the worst.
No, but they're better. They're doctors too.
But
they are
but
hyperbaric scientists.
I like the comments. I think we all do. We did learn some things that could have been done better, but when they add their own facts, they type a whole thing of facts, and I'm reading, and I'm like, that's a cool, not our situation, but neat, great.
That's your opinion.
Who are you talking about?
That's your opinion. You were narked, and they think that.
Well, I mean,
they know more.
You were there.
They know more than us.
You were the guy that.
That's right. They know more.
Somebody asked how part of it all.
How did the meeting with the dance CEO went? We haven't had
February 10th. February 10th.
It's coming up.
Honestly, everybody, don't beat them up yet. They really are so far doing everything they've said and wanting to improve. They aren't being defensive.
Yeah. By the way, before we move too far, I just want to give a shout out to Nathalie, who sent us this super cool dry fobs. I love them. It's like a flashlight that doesn't have a
I haven't
light.
opened mine. Let me open mine.
But look, this is what you use it for. This is the smallest one. It's $50, $49.99.
Mine's pink.
Yeah. It has, by the way, we're not sponsored by them or anything. We just, very thankful they sent us one. Double O-rings. They're aluminum.
Something's in mine. I can
look,
tell you that.
Look, what do you use it for? Keys. The keys of your car. Like in this case, the Scuba van. So
that's cool. Let me see what.
They're good to 330 feet or 100 meters. So you can just take your keys with you. Don't leave them out under a tire.
Yours
like most
came
people
with
do.
candy also? That they love. They gave you the love like that?
No, mine didn't come with anything.
Yours just came with that instruction paper?
Yeah,
I wouldn't take that as the fact. I would not assume that they like me way better than you just because they gave me a bunch of nice candy.
That's okay.
Don't assume that. I'm not trying to compete that way. But so seriously, how deep did you say? I wasn't
100 meters. So 330
that's cool.
feet.
It's 2 rings. But I was asking Gus, like, why would anybody want to take their keys? Well, he made a great point. Let's say we're diving in Bon Air.
Yeah.
You leave those trucks on the side or whatever. Maybe you want to take it with you. Or maybe I'm hungry and I would like a little snack.
Or you live in Florida. Or whatever. It just whatever, right? I'm just saying.
It could be that.
Most people put it like under the tire or whatever. Like every time we go diving with somebody, he's like, hey, my keys are under the passenger side. Whatever.
You do that in Dade County and you may come back with nothing but bricks.
Exactly. So you take your keys with you, just drop this in a pocket. Look, it's half the size of my hand. Okay. Drop it in a pocket and go diving. And you take your keys with you.
But look, it's even got a little thing you could put a little bolt snap connection right there. Beep, beep, beep.
Exactly. It's pretty awesome.
But you know what I'm going to do? There's going to be with you diving, just to make you laugh underwater, there's going to be some very funny things that come out of this underwater. You should be prepared for that in the future.
Garrett Harrison is saying, shout out to Garrett, by the way. He forgot that he had his keys in his pocket and dove with them. So he had to replace the keys and he got one of these and now he dives with them. So
there you go.
Shout out to Garrett for learning the
Do you want one of the pieces of candy they gave me?
Okay. No, I'm good.
No,
Thank
I'll
you.
enjoy it then. Okay, so let's read the comments. That would have become a mini time capsule in a bad situation. Dive tech is top shelf.
All right, so here's the question. Hi, guys. I really want to start diving. Is it a bad idea to start out with a rebreather or should I start out with open circuit? Well, you don't get to make that choice. There's no, as far as I know, class where you can start with a rebreather. You have to be an open circuit diver and have some experience actually as an open circuit diver before you even qualify to learn on a rebreather. So you will start an open circuit.
And I do think it's a good idea to start an open circuit.
For sure.
Because listen, when you are on a rebreather and the rebreather has a catastrophic failure, what do you bail out to? Open circuit.
Yep.
The pink, first of all, it's not MasterCard. Somebody said, has Woody got his pink MasterCard yet? I don't use MasterCard anymore.
That's it.
You quit. After numerous phone calls of
so when you go to Europe,
can you please approve this charge? Well, maybe. I'm like, how about can you please approve this charge or I'll die?
Well, 50-50.
Let us mull that over. We'll get back with you.
Yeah.
Amex. Can you approve this charge? Approved. Wait. So anyway, I don't have a pink Amex card.
I found this Amex on the floor. Approved. But yeah, so what are you gonna do when you go to Europe or whatever? It's like just carry gold with you, or like what? How do you pay? Because they don't take Amex in Europe. They're like completely against it.
Yeah, really?
In most places,
then I'll carry the gold that I found when we went gold diving.
Okay. I don't even know why I asked. Terry, thank you for putting the link. divetalkmeetup.com. Come to dive in Bon Air with us. Right, a week in Bon Air, July 6th through the 13th. We'll be there. Jill Heiners will be there.
Beautiful accommodations, shore diving, great food, warm water.
Yeah, that's going to be warm. That's for sure. Let's see. What else?
So many comments. It's good to see everybody. Let's see. You
Oh, this
guys
is a
make
good
my day
question.
always. Now I have the motivation to clean while I listen.
Wow.
I didn't know that. So we motivate people to clean. I wish I could turn the camera to how
That's okay.
organized and
This
clean
is
your
this is
your
a
studio is.
this is a functional studio. Everything in here has a reason to be there.
But that pile has been there for 3 years. And
That's
that same has a reason for 3 years.
it has a very valid reason.
I'm scared to lift it up.
Okay, well done.
I don't want to get bit.
Don't
Don't forget to like the video, Robin, who is coming to the meetup.
She is.
And she was at meetup
Awesome.
number 1.
That's right. That's awesome.
Effie, Woody goes commando. Where and when? I mean, it's sub-zero here in the studio. Gus is in a t-shirt, so I'm in a ski jacket. Woody, are there any restrictions on when you can dive again?
You're done.
There are recommendations.
Yesterday, 1 day, 1 month.
But I'm good. It was. They said, look, don't dive for 30 days.
Yeah.
And
that was yesterday, the 19th.
Will I hydrate in the future? Abso-friggin-lutely. I thought I did. Listen, It's not like we got lots of criticism on this. You should have known. You didn't hydrate because you don't have a P valve. That's my favorite one. Oh, that was the reason.
That's right.
Oh my God, I didn't have a P valve, so that's why I didn't hydrate.
Yeah.
Wow, brilliant. Guys, let me give you the big complicated reason why I didn't hydrate. I didn't even think about it. There is no good. It's not like this big analytical fact pattern that people put out there. Yeah. I just was like,
well, and it's funny.
I didn't think about it that day. And was I dehydrated? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's not even for sure. Don't automatically go there. Maybe one of the reasons that I was bent, maybe was dehydration. Right. Maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe it's because that day I didn't eat the right food. Maybe it's maybe.
It doesn't. It's impossible.
There's no like.
Nobody will know.
You didn't hydrate because you don't have a P valve. No, I don't have a P valve because I don't want a P valve.
That's right.
And if I feel like I have to pee in my dry suit on myself, then I'm not going to die and not hydrate because of that.
Right.
That was so stupid, man.
But it's the same.
And they believe they're right. I love when they're like, I got you.
I got it.
I got
a P valve.
It's a P valve.
But no, it's the same. It's the people that think you're a complete idiot, but somehow you're so smart that you figure out if I don't drink enough, then I don't pee for this amount of time. Exactly. Like,
right.
What are you talking about?
It's so dumb that it's hard.
So stupid.
I read them every once in a while. I did comment on I know everything about scuba diving, and you're a total moron and we're stupid. I think we got you're stupid.
Oh,
you're many comments. I'm like,
right.
Take electrolytes before each dive, maybe. Great, but we always do. I always have.
No, and I look. I think
who knows?
I think it's a valid question for the people that said, I want to know why you got bent. Like, why is it? Like, I understand that people want to know. I would love to know too, but it's impossible to know. They don't know. You don't know.
They really don't know.
You can't. It's not an exact science.
It's so crazy. By the way, I do not have a PFO. I had a full physical. The doctors were like, dude, you are off the chart healthy. Echocardiogram, perfect. I filmed the PFO. Did you put that on Dive Talk Plus?
Yeah, of course.
We have another little channel with some like where we put extra stuff. Dive Talk Plus. You should go watch it. I filmed my own PFO. I could not believe they were letting me do it. And I bonded with all the nurses. I'm just saying, I became very friendly with them. No PFO, perfect health.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. Who knows? Has Amex Streets out yet? I have talking to some Amex reps. And they're just very flattered. And they were it's not just me. They are like, this is what we do for our members. Like, we really will protect you. They're a great company.
Yeah. They're asking, what's a PFO? Personal floating orange? Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Good job. No, when you're born, I mean, I should let Doug answer this, but you basically have a hole in your heart. I think it's from the right side to the left side. I hope I don't screw that up. That closes in 75% of all people, but 1/4 of the population, that hole doesn't close. And that can cause bubbles to go through that hole to the other side, and has been determined to be a major contributing factor to people that are getting bent a lot. And then when they close it, like Doug does a very non-invasive operation to close those, they don't get bent anymore.
Right.
So it's common after you get bent, they're like, go check to see if you have a PFO. Maybe that's what it was. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Somebody asked, let's see. Garrett asked, when will we learn more about the Go? Well, the Go is a unit, for those of you who don't know, it's a new rebreather coming out to the market and is mainly geared towards recreational diving. So like if you're the kind of diver who runs out of air like half the time as everyone else, or will like to, maybe you have a good, surface air consumption rate, but you want to do a 2-hour drift dive in Cozumel or a 3-hour drift dive in Cozumel, things like that. Just go beyond what open circuit can do. The Go is the perfect unit for that. I believe that every single, regular non-tech diver should get a Go, which I guess you become a tech diver because you'll be diving a rebreather. So you have to go through training and get certified. But it's not designed to be one of these behemoth units that, Dr. Harry is taken to 800 feet in a cave diving exploration dive. Like that's not what this unit is for. It's for recreational purpose. If you think about it that way, although you do kind of become a tech diver by diving a rebreather, but
it'll clip to NEBC, guys. It's my favorite rebreather.
Awesome.
Wait till you learn more about it. Hey, this is actually a good question by Mr. Preciado. Why weren't you using Trimix? I do want to answer that one.
How dare you?
Oh my God. And that was another one I love. They're like, there's Trimix, and if you would have used it and all. Okay. Guys, it's so dumb. It's just okay. Let me explain. Brian briefed this dive. Brian said, look, for a very, very short period of time, and remember, I'm going to be with you, you're going to hit a maximum depth of, I think it was 140. It's for a second, right? Isn't that what he said? Like, just for a second, we're going to hit 140 and you come right back up. It's a quick dip and you're going to come right back up.
Right.
Are you comfortable? So just understand, I'm going to be with you and I can go around and easily, no matter what in this restriction, I can get you right out. There's another way to go right around. Are you okay with that? Even if you're feeling a little narked, I'll be there right next to you. We made a conscious decision. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're only going to be at that for a second. My average depth on the dive was 70 feet, by the way, like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So we decided, after a very thorough briefing and dive planning, we'll accept that since it's just a quick dip and we're going to be going right back up. And that Brian has another way if we, for some reason in that one area, which was not at 140, that, by the way, was only at 130, would be able to get us right back out and go right back up.
Yeah.
So don't turn this into a Trimix dive. It's not a Trimix dive. It's a 2 seconds of depth below 130. And then you're basically average depth on the entire dive. 99% of the dive was 70 feet.
Yeah. And the maximum operating depth of air is 218 feet, which we weren't even close to. Number one. And number two, narcosis wasn't an issue. Like at no point it was like, well, I was so narked and that blah, blah, blah. No, like narcosis wasn't a problem in that dive.
I certainly didn't feel any narked whatsoever, but I still wouldn't have done that if I didn't have the experience of Brian and he didn't have that other way around and we weren't all together. And it was more than a minute, literally a minute. So yeah, we understand Trimix. Like we don't need to get a story of, well, it off gas is faster. And oh my God, this one guy.
Have you ever heard of
one
helium?
guy in particular? I'm not going to mention his name.
Have you ever heard of helium?
He was like, he called you, I think, and then me, and he was going to like give us a dissertation on the work of breathing because of the gas density of helium. It's much easier to breathe helium. Oh my God. You are a genius. I was like, seriously, these are the comments. They're so, it's just like so over the top. guys. It was a 70-foot average depth dive 99% of the time.
Yeah, sorry, there's a lot of questions coming, but I don't want to forget about one question we got earlier. Somebody said that they booked their first try scuba because of our channel and Jonathan Bird, and they're asking for if we have any tips. So what tips do you have for someone who's going to go into a try scuba? First time, never scuba dive.
Totally relax and enjoy it. Honestly, the try scubas are just, hopefully the instructor on a try scuba leaves you alone, because that's the students that come out of those try scubas the best are the ones where they just told, let's go underwater in a confined water in a pool first and just swim around and get the feel for how your breathing is affecting you in the water column. Don't even use the BCD. Don't even touch the low pressure inflator so we can get you weighted properly, and just be natural and swim around. You'll love it. It's the first time breathing underwater. You're going to be like, this is super awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, by the way, I see some
aquariums?
comment. I see a comment that says it's reasonable to ask the question, were you using Trimix or whatever? Definitely. Sure. I love the people that ask the questions. The ones that I'm talking about are on like those scuba boards and everything. They're like, they go way beyond, like, you don't know, and you don't know what you're talking about, and there's density, and you're idiot. It's like, guys,
you don't know what you're doing. You're better than me.
Oh my God. They don't even know the facts of our dive, and they're making these comments. I'm like,
you're a better diver.
And they wonder why scuba hasn't grown.
Yeah.
Like, really, wow. That's your inviting way of educating.
Toxic.
I don't even want them to be a part of our channel.
Keyword is toxic. Okay. Do smokers have any problems with air or anything like that non-smokers do? I don't know from the medical perspective, but I assume, and again, assumptions are dangerous, but I assume if you smoke, your lungs don't work as a healthy lung would work.
Yeah, I think it has been shown that, it can really affect your diving.
But we have friends who are smokers and dive.
Oh, cool. Would are you ever going to dive in England? I have. Or is it just too cold for you? No, I did. I went diving there. I met up with Steve Pryor twice. And no, it is cold, but I would prepare for it. I would wear I have a Santee full undergarment, heated undergarment with my dry suit, and then it's fine as long as I'm prepared for it. Sure, I would love to. Look, there's so many places we want to dive. It's just that, man, it's just time,
Yeah, exactly.
This is awesome. We have a lot of people on. Wow. Hi, everybody. 338 people.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. By the way, thank you. You guys we've gotten so many new subscribers, even while we've been away a little. And we have just cranked out some really cool videos that are coming.
By the way, let me say this. Hold on.
Where is it? I'll keep reading while you're looking. I managed to get my sac rate to 24. Great. That's awesome. One of the videos we have coming out is all about lowering your breathing rate underwater, how to consume less air. It's done by a female dive instructor. Her name is Kat. She did a great job, a really great job. As a matter of fact, I would love to dive with her sometime. No, guys, stop talking about suing Dan and lawsuits. That doesn't accomplish anything. My goal with all this is not to self-benefit at all, zero. My goal with Dan is to say, look, let's just be intelligent and recognize the things that went wrong so that it's better for the world. If I went through something like this, I would like to come out of it where I can help make something better for the world. And they're very open to that. They are going, in my opinion, to remedy many things that went wrong. And that's great. That's all I really care about.
That's right.
You guys ever dive a siphon?
Maybe.
I don't like the word ever. Do you?
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not looking to dive one.
I think, the whole lawsuit thing, because there's a lot of comments like that and people who have reached out to us like that. I feel like if you sue Dan and they pay you to make it go away so the story doesn't come out, like how much is a human life worth? I feel like us making money out of it, whatever the money is, would prevent the story from coming out and potentially saving lives.
Of course.
So it's not worth it. It's just whatever money it is that we could have or not gotten from Dan, who cares? What we want is change. We want people
Yes.
not to go through what we went through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not. It never even dawned on me about suing them. Tori, yes, I do believe Dan will absolutely help change things for the better. I believe that. We're having a big meeting with them on February 10th. We're in good conversations with them. Nobody is talking about suing each other.
No.
It's zero of the purpose. I don't want to hurt Dan, but I will be factual. Like, I'm going to state what happened and what they did to fix it. And we're waiting to have that meeting with them, and we're going to analyze, and they are going to make some changes. They do have some good points that they made as well. I don't want to tell everybody we were perfect. Wait, what's perfect? Like, that's not the point of this whole thing. The point is, just like we react and analyze to other people's videos, this time we get to react to our own situation, which is, we don't want to have that happen often, but it's unique. So let's make that better for the whole dive world. We actually get to react to our own.
You know, the other one that was funny is the comments of people like, I'm so glad I live in a country where we have free healthcare. And I'm like,
saw that one.
How living in Sweden or whatever you're, commenting from helps you if you get bent in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
How is that Swedish medical system that you have that you're so proud of? Like, some of these comments, I don't get it. But it's like, I'm so happy I live in Norway where the medical. Okay, how is that going to help you if you get bent in Bahamas?
I ignore them. I love, because not only that, they're like, this is all about how bad the USA medical system is. Did you see that, Gus? Where they kept saying the USA medical system. I'm like, we were not in the USA.
We were in the Bahamas.
So there are, guys, think about your comments before you post them. I know it's fun to be critical and chop everybody down in diving, and you're the great. I don't know where the ego's coming from in diving. Stop. We don't need the ego. We're not ever on this channel saying we're the worst divers. Let me. I'm going to change it.
This would never happen to me.
We're the worst. We tell you on the channel.
I live in Lithuania.
This is the 2 worst divers.
I live in Lithuania.
Don't watch our channel if you want to get great at diving. If you want to be entertained, and maybe every once in a while, Gus and I get lucky. And, you've been lucky before and actually made a comment that recommends something safe. That's a good comment. You must have got lucky that time when you said that.
Of course.
So that was good.
This would never happen in Lithuania. Okay. Let's see. What else?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, and I couldn't find, mainly because you came here and disrupted my organization. Okay, but I was gonna say the beautiful watch that we gave away at the 250,000 subscriber mark was never claimed. It went unclaimed.
Oh man!
So I still have it. We have to give it away.
Wow.
Yeah. So I gave the person who won, like, whatever many months now since we got 250,000 subscribers, and never got an email or anything.
Wow.
So at this point, we should give it away. Now I have to find it. Don't.
I want.
Let's not.
Listen,
okay.
I'm not trying. I really do love Gus. He's like my brother, but I don't know how to exit the studio because I may step on that watch. One of those giant piles in front of me could be the watch. I'm looking down. I'm just.
Okay.
There's no way you know what all that.
Listen.
That pile is so out of control. You do not know what that is.
That's okay.
That's been there for years.
That's important. That's so important. All right. Don't point your finger like that because it's important. But anyway, if I find the watch, we'll give it away. It's here.
I'm sure you'll find it.
It's here somewhere.
In this decade.
It's here somewhere.
God, it's amazing, this place.
It's a diver watch, and it's beautiful.
We should read the comments. We're sitting here chit-chatting and having fun.
Yeah.
I'm in a great mood. I'm happy. I think the dive community is actually going to come out better from what happened to me. And that is actually, do you know that I believe this all happened to me for a reason. I think it's karma. I think that because I had the ability to, if you will, get myself out of that mess in terms of getting the air ambulance and all that, it's allowing us to maybe help better the dive community with Dan. Maybe it was supposed to be like this. So great. I'm glad at this point. Yeah, pile of watches, pile of.
I can't find it.
I don't even. I see everything from giant cave exploration reels on his floor to a quarter of a bottle of water that could have been there for centuries. Candy wrappers.
That's not
unopened
what?
candy wrappers.
What candy wrappers?
There's unopened boxes of stuff. Oh, cool. There's some spare tripods that have dust on them.
That tripod.
Maybe
is
we
so
need
important.
that tripod. Maybe we don't. I don't know I don't know how to describe it. Well, you have a lot of cool extra dive equipment, and I'm always wondering why our bank account's low. And there's a lot of neat stuff.
Okay.
Here on the floor. Okay.
Let's
back
see.
to this monster. I've never even said one was. God, the comments are flying. I'd love to try to read some. We're just having fun, everybody. That's what we should all be doing. I snorkeled the Barrier Reef once.
Nice.
At a place called Green Island. My only experience doing anything like that was beautiful and somewhat unreal, but always found myself looking behind myself. I know at the beginning it's like that, but that marine life, they're not interested typically in us. They are not. Dan will be better not because of Woody. It's honestly because of our unified dive talk community. You gave us the ability to have a meaningful conversation with Dan. So yes, many of your comments were they would have never done this for anybody else. Or maybe so, but that's because of you. And so what? Why not now take advantage of the fact that we get the honor of being able to have you guys of our audience to help make them better? That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Thank you for empowering us. Frankly, you are empowering us.
Yeah, exactly. And those were the other comments. Like Danny's only changing because these guys have 300,000 subscribers.
Maybe.
Who cares?
Maybe.
Okay, fine, great.
I'm good.
I'm glad. Yeah,
that's a great use of dive talk.
They say that as it's a bad thing. Like it's an insult.
What a great.
They're only doing this because you guys have a large number of subscribers.
Maybe so.
Fine. Great. I'm glad it's changing.
What a great use of dive talk. Isn't that awesome to be part of this community and know that unified like this? That's what I mean. If we're unified as divers and don't beat each other up and shred each other down, we could just help make the whole industry better together.
Exactly.
It's not, we're not meant to be underwater. Nobody's here saying that we're perfect.
Yeah.
We've never said that.
Let's see.
Thank you, Lizzie. World-class channel. World-class community is even better way of describing it. You're part of it, and thank you all.
Yeah.
Did you two ever go to that crazy French sewer tunnel? Oh yeah, I want to. That was a great video. That thing looked wild, man.
I'm trying to find the watch to show it, but I don't know where it is.
Well, you'll find it eventually by the year 2030.
There's a drone. That's cool.
It's unbelievable. There's so many things in here, guys. If the fire department came in on top of everything else, do you know?
Look at this cool knife.
Do you know
Orange.
the schematic of your wiring, or like if you looked at it, do you know what every one of these wires connected to?
Absolutely.
Because it's a cobweb.
No,
or you think
it's okay. All of this, I know exactly what everything does. All this gear. Okay.
Why is there a random USB-C cable that just popped on the floor?
That's so you can connect your
my light.
DPV.
I never have the right cable because they're on the floor here. This is.
Let's see.
It's like a free-for-all in here. You walk in this studio.
Are we gonna go hunting for gold again? No.
I could use a piece of chocolate right now. No problem. It's in one of these piles.
Yeah. But everybody has like a knife laying around. I mean,
yeah, a lot of people have a weapon like that one.
This is not a weapon. It's a beautiful knife. I use it to cut apples and whatnot.
Which, by the way, part of those apples are still on the floor.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
Everybody should have a
Woody, God bless you guys. Great to see you live. Hope all is better with you, Woody. I feel amazing. Thank you for saying that. I'm not a diver at all and can barely swim, but I love your videos. I am working out a lot. I kind of got out of working out a lot. By the way,
everybody should have a sensible knife.
Where did that
laying around?
Where pile did that come out of? That just magically appeared. I didn't even see that.
I'm just saying. having a sensible knife
Where'd it come from?
is important. You know,
There's so
you never know when you need to cut.
Is that one of the $500 oxygen sensors on the floor? I just thought, look at that. It's down there.
Well,
listen, guys, it could be that I was just out of shape. Like I did feel like I was a little winded and out of shape. I'm working out again. I'm really getting back into my workout routine. Stop harassing our boy Woody. I'm just playing. You guys know I'm playing. I just don't want to step on the wrong thing. Okay. I'm just saying. I don't even know where that stuff's coming from. It just keeps coming.
Sensible spool.
It just keeps coming out of
3,500 feet of line.
That is beautiful, that thing.
Come on. Everybody should have a 3,500 foot.
That thing. We got to use it too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's read some comments. Did you guys dive Devil's Throat? No, while in Cozumel. I don't know. I think we did.
Did we go? What?
Did we do that Devil's Throat? Yes.
I think so.
Yes. Everybody got a chance to go to that site. Yes. I'm sorry. I had a little, which happens often. Run, Woody. I know. Man, Gus has a serious knife collection, and he made one for me. I should have brought it. He made me a pink knife as a gift for Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. It's super nice. I have it. I love it.
All right, let's see. Will you guys be diving with Akeem from Inner Space Explorer anytime soon? Not anytime soon, unless he's coming to Florida. I mean, he has an open invite. We like Akeem, and we've featured him on our channel, and so he's always welcome to come and dive with us.
Oh, that's cool. You recently bought a D630. You're wondering how we route the cable from NOAM, how we route the cable canister to the light handle. Glad to see. We could show a video on it. I route it.
It really depends on the setup.
Kind of on my Sidewinder anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of route it down through the back spine of the Sidewinder. This is not going to sound right. And then we have like bungees and stuff that we're connecting tanks to, and that we're bungees that sort of strap the harness around our waist or whatever. So I make sure the cord is under all of that, sort of under the back part of the spine, but long enough to where I can extend my arm all the way forward. Right. So if I extend my arm forward, I wouldn't be like having to dive like this the whole dive. So I can go all the way like this, and I have it on a Goodman handle. And then really Gus made this up. I have a piece of bungee over the top of it where I can attach cookies to. And Gus came up with that idea. I think he came up with that idea. I use it.
Learn it from someone else.
Well, it's a great idea, and it works great.
Yeah. Somebody says, is it worth learning how to dive if you don't live by large bodies of water? I mean, I think so. Yes. I think that you should probably go on vacation every once in a while to places where you can dive, but also there's a lot of quarries and lakes and things like that where you can dive, or even aquariums. Like here in the Georgia Aquarium, you can go diving. So if you enjoy scuba diving, you should definitely learn.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Yeah, dry caving is really something. I love it. But that's one of those things where I consider myself a very amateur recreational dry caver. So I go with David Vigiano. Why? Because he's an expert. Yep. Same when I cave dive, guys. Usually, unless it's a cave that is like Ginny Springs, wherever there's main passage, everybody's been in there. I'm not doing any of this stuff without experts.
I don't know if you guys watched the episodes of Demolition Ranch and the cave they had in Texas, and they had the Action Adventure twins and some other dry cavers go in there and like almost die. All those guys live in like Georgia, Tennessee area, and they all invited us to go dry caving, like Action Adventure twins and stuff. They said, "Oh, we should go caving," and I said, "We'll call you back."
Well, why would you say we'll call you back? Why would you say let's do it?
Because no.
Can we please do that?
No.
But I want to do that. I mean, it's really fun.
Have fun. I'll be cave diving somewhere.
Please hit that like button, Jose. That we never say that. I noticed that we never say that. I guess we should. It really helps us. Thank you. Oh, the new MAV, Brandon. Yes, the one that looks like a pistol. I don't know what to say about it. It looks great.
It looks awesome.
It looks Very well made. I wouldn't be surprised. They really raised the quality of how they make everything. I don't know any details. I saw some people like, I would never use it because the O2 button is too exposed. There's a lot of people that are, I will never, or they say things based on a picture. Why don't you wait? Do you think that these guys that designed it, that are like Patrick Widman, one of the world's greatest sidewinder divers, would not have thought about the O2 button? What do you think, Gus? Do you think Patrick?
Right.
Oh man, we missed thinking about the O2
Did
button.
not see that coming.
Just relax a little, everybody.
This is a good question. Would you prefer to teach your kids how to scuba or have another instructor do it? That's a good question.
I taught my daughters. I absolutely love the experience.
I would do it myself.
And I was way harder than anybody else.
Absolutely.
No, why? No, it's great. It's a great bonding experience.
Yeah.
And they loved it as well.
Yeah, I taught my brother. My kids don't want to learn, but I taught my brother, and I know he's not going to sue me. So you can imagine how that went. It was some next level open water diver right there. Can I get Dive Talk merch in the UK? Absolutely. Shop divetalk.com. Ship worldwide.
Effie's on the channel here. He runs that for us, and we greatly appreciate it. Good faith question from a non-diver. Why didn't you go straight to the hospital after Woody came up feeling sick?
Okay, we'll address it on the next
video. That question for sure.
It's the most popular question.
For sure will be addressed. Wait before you start saying these big fact assumptions and all of that. That's all I'm telling you all. Just wait for that to be addressed on the next episode. Good question. Fair question. But just wait before you think you know all the facts, because you don't know all the facts. But good question. I think it was Charlie. Great question, which 10,000 other people asked. Hold on to that question.
Do you guys have other hobbies? Not really. I mean, I ride bikes, but it's not a hobby. It's like I just enjoy doing it once in a while.
I have other hobbies, like
but I'm not invested like diving.
No, I do. I'll ocean dive or cave dive. So those are two different hobbies.
Freshwater diving.
Sometimes it's freshwater. It could be diving with a halocline, so that's a different hobby.
Right. Have you ever thought about ice climbing? What?
I have done it.
Who thinks about ice climbing?
I did it. I did a whole ice climbing expedition. I used to do a lot of climbing, and ice climbing, we trained so hard, cardiovascular. But if you do it properly, everything when you do with the proper technique is less effort. But me and the new guys doing it, we're watching the instructor guiding us doing it. He's like climbing on the ice, right? Because it's perfect technique. So he's using way less effort. And we're like
dying
because it's technique. So I loved it. I loved ice climbing. Did it for.
That's a good question. What is your favorite rock metal band? I would say Korn, probably, just because I grew up in the 90s listening to Korn. So they're my favorite. But there's a bunch of different ones that I like.
Why am I wearing a winter jacket and a beanie while Gus is wearing a t-shirt? Similar to the way we dive. It's Arctic in the studio. You guys are all probably too young to remember David Letterman, who kept the studio at like 30 degrees. It's not 32 in here. It's not 32 degrees. It's probably 50. So I'm freezing.
How are those transcripts coming along? We have them all, but we are going to review it.
We don't have them all.
Okay. We're going to review them with Dan.
We almost have them all.
Yeah.
But by the way, the purpose of the transcripts is not for us to put them out so everybody can tear down Dan. Stop. The purpose of it is for us to sit down with Dan and use them to determine areas of improvement and policies and procedures that Dan is willing to make to avoid some of the things that happen. That's the only purpose here. That's it. Nobody's out, I'm right and you're wrong. That kind of conversation is not happening. It's not needed. It's not beneficial.
Absolutely.
Are you in a studio? Yes. Gus has a badass studio. It is in his basement, besides the floor, which is
That's-
covered in everything
Nobody's
from
asking
scuba
how's the
diving,
floor
candy,
in this. Why you keep saying that?
swords, random tools, statue. I don't, besides all of that, it's an unbelievable studio he put
Look,
together.
everything should be like within a hand's reach.
Oh my God, just
all
found
the
a
equipment.
computer.
Like, oh, you need a drill?
Are you
need
missing a
Do you need a
laptop?
drill? Look.
Oh my God, you're missing a
There's the
laptop.
drill.
You've probably been looking for that laptop I just see over there dangling for years.
Okay, well,
Did you know it
just
was
saying,
there?
if you need a drill, I got you.
You know you have a laptop missing, right? That
Where?
you've been looking for? Exactly. I think I see a dangling off the chair. Cool, there it is.
You need a lighter?
No,
right.
but I'm not surprised that you have one here.
How about a batarang knife? Need one? No? Okay. I'm just saying,
So
you
much
should-
stuff in here.
you should have
Besides
everything.
and a massive safe, which obviously is loaded with weapons. There's only
not
one thing
true.
he's putting in there.
There's
And
no-
that's I
that's
know,
not-
Gus. That thing has so many weapons in
There's
it.
no-
It's not even funny.
There's nothing like that in here.
Charlie, thank you. Is there anything for the super chat? Is there anything community can do to help? Guys, you already have. Let me tell you, you helped so much. What I would say is that I don't want the community to beat Dan up anymore.
Mhm.
Let's wait and really see if they make the changes that they say they're going to make. And let us analyze that with them on February 10th. So, Charlie, you have helped by enabling us to have the honor to have Dive Talk and supporting us. And now Dan is willing to make changes. And that's okay that it took that. What a great use of Dive Talk.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else.
Cheers from Abaco. Leanne.
How about that?
She's there right now. Awesome.
Hopefully we met Leanne when we were there. Is Dan USA not as reliable as Dan Europe? I don't know.
No,
I mean, I think they're equally reliable. I don't know.
Let's wait, guys. Well, I think Dan's going to be really stepping it up here. They really seem to care.
Have you ever thought about diving with Mr. Ballin? Sure. Yeah.
I would love to.
Would be awesome.
I never dove a Poseidon. A lot of people ask us, what about a Poseidon rebreather?
I'm sure
I don't
they're
know. We have them at the Georgia Aquarium. I don't know. I can't comment on it.
I'm sure
I've really only dived Kiss and now the Go. And I love the little chest-mounted Go rebreather. We have huge announcement coming up on that. No way. We just got a $50.
Well, it's 50 SEK.
Oh.
So what? I don't know what that is.
Still, I'm thankful. But when I saw 50, so it's from Will Rock.
Swedish crowns, I guess. Is that
Reading
it?
from Sweden. How are you guys doing? Isn't everything more valuable in Sweden? That thing could be worth like $5,000.
That's okay.
I thought Sweden, everything's good.
Well, I don't know what 50
whatever it is, it doesn't
crowns
matter.
is,
It's
but
very nice.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We both work in the diving field? No, we just don't. We don't. We are both dive instructors, and we love diving, and we have Dive Talk.
It's all right. We like it. Even
Oh,
if
it's $5.
50 cents.
Hey, great. Thank you.
It's awesome.
That's super nice. I don't care. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you could become one marine creature, what would it be?
Oh my God.
Well,
like
I think for me it still would be an octopus because I want to ask the other octopus what it was like, as the message gets passed down on Planet Octopus. I want to know where it is. How did they get here? How many light years did it take to travel here? So, I mean, I'm sure they hear from their ancestors what it was like on Planet Octopus. And I would just love to know what it was like there.
Mm-hmm.
That is obvious. They're from a different planet. Do you believe in mermaids? Why did I read that question? Yes, of course.
Scuba Haze is saying we look alike. That's good, I guess.
Great.
I would like to have more brothers and sisters, to be honest. I only have one brother, and I'm like, come on.
I like to think I'm your brother in some ways. We fight at times like brothers.
Yeah.
How did you two meet? Diving. through diving.
Would you ever instruct in Canada? I don't know.
I mean, we'd have to, go there and all that, and I doubt it, honestly. Not because everything in
And I'm
Canada's
sure
just-
there's a lot of amazing Canadian instructors.
Oh, there are.
Absolutely. Go learn from them.
They really are.
Please bring Mr. Ballin into your studio.
I wish.
That would be awesome.
I wish you would.
He's welcome.
I've always believed in Octopus and loved them and fell in love with them guys for decades for me, because they're all over Florida as well, where I grew up diving. They're just so fascinating to me.
Yeah. Is it possible to have either of you as an instructor? Well, yeah, we recently taught a nitrox class online.
We'll do another one. That was fun teaching it together. I was resistant. I'm always stubborn a little bit at times. And Gus was like, let's just run it like a dive talk episode.
Yeah.
And it was just very conversational. And he was right. You were
right.
A
few months ago, I think it was August or whatever that was, we did a rescue class in Florida. We had like 8 people there. Yeah.
That was
so
nice.
we teach once in a while. We're not full-time instructors. So
at our meetup, by the way, I think Gus is going to be running a like a perfect buoyancy workshop, which would be great.
Yeah, trim and buoyancy.
He's got a very good trim and buoyancy, and I'm going to be doing try, go, rebreather sessions in the pool. So that's a form of teaching. So come there and we can do stuff together.
What agency do you teach under? We teach under a few different agencies, but it doesn't really matter. It's all about the instructor. Like I wouldn't teach a nitrox class differently under SSI or RAID or INTD, or you're going to get the same knowledge regardless.
Wow. Scuba Girls International says they love me. Pretty sure that's Terry. Terry, I know you love me. But thank you for saying it again. Or could be, I don't know who it is, but Terry.
Yeah. So the workshop is during our meetup in Bon Air. So divetalkmeetup.com. We're doing try rebreathers, so people can try the new Go.
Yep, for sure.
And we will also have a trim and buoyancy workshop. So it's not a perfect buoyancy or peak performance buoyancy class or any of that stuff. It's all about, here's how I do trim and buoyancy, and teach you some lessons, and others that will be there, not just me. But this is how you get in trim. This is how I get in trim. And it's, a combination of things. It's a combination of skills and attitude in the water and equipment configuration. So we'll have those two.
Oh, I like what you just said, an attitude. You're right. Yeah. It is an attitude. It's a mental attitude of wanting to be in good trim and buoyancy. That's really cool. I like that. That'll be great. I think Gus will do it, and others. I would be involved and help with it, but it's like we're going to be swamped with the try, go, rebreathers. I can tell you that when you all see it, those of you coming to the meetup, you're going to want to dive awesome. It. Woody, would you leave home without it? Nope. Not without my Amex. You better believe I'm loyal to them for the rest of my life. They bailed me out. I don't know any other way to put it, man. They did. Do you know if
this is a good question? This is an important question. I have to answer it. Gus, are you mad, or how mad were you when Woody got to sit next to that pretty girl on the plane? Well, I don't think it's a matter of I wasn't upset that he got to sit next to the pretty girl. I was kind of disappointed that he took my seat. That was the main thing. Regardless of who was next, it could have been anybody. It wasn't about the girl. It was just like the insult of you taking my seat. Like, that wasn't cool. That really is what hurt me the most. The person sitting next to had nothing to do with this.
No, sure.
It was just the disrespect.
The funniest part is that at the beginning of it, I don't know if this came out clear. At the beginning of it, I'm like, Gus has the single seat where nobody's sitting next to him. And I'm like, dude, why you always got to put me in the seat where there's somebody next to me? Right. And then Gus is over there getting all comfortable in his single seat. Then she comes walking down the aisle, and I see her turn into mine immediately without hesitation. Imagine as she makes the turn, Gus is like,
dude, I think we made a mistake.
You still want my seat? And I'm like, nope, I'm good. That's how the scene went down.
And
then the funniest part is the rest of the flight, her and I are talking, and like our heads are getting closer and closer. God's looking over, like, what's going on over there?
And I love that the girl is just watching us argue over these seats.
It's hilarious.
It's like, can
She
I
was
get to my
so
seat?
nice.
And the two of us are like, no, you got mine.
By
I
the
got
way,
yours.
She was so nice. Such
Yeah.
a cool girl. Such a nice person.
Right. Greetings from Switzerland. Have you always felt comfortable diving in places with no direct way to the surface, or do you take the time and training to get used to it? I think it took time and training to get used to it. I don't think, from day one I was comfortable being in an overhead environment, but we've talked about this several times. By the way, Thomas from Circle H Scuba interviewed me at DEMA talking about how do you become a cave diver. And I talked about this, that to become a cave diver takes a lot of time. It's a lot of progression little by little. You don't go from open water to cave diver. Like, it takes a long time. And along the way, you realize if it's good for you or not. Like, if you go through your cavern class and you realize that I can't imagine myself going somewhere where I can't see the exit, then stop right there. You can be cavern certified and that's it. So you have a lot of opportunities to turn around and be like, this is not for me. But for the people that do end up becoming cave divers, I think every one of those steps, the cavern class and so on, really give you the confidence that cave diving is for you. You do cavern, you're like, this is awesome. Then you do intro to cave, and this was awesome. And you just keep on getting into it. So that's how the progression goes.
By the way, I don't mean to replay this in my head, but I really miss her right now.
That's okay.
I'm just saying, I miss her, and I do have her cell phone now. I mean, probably she gave it to me just to
That's not right.
Send her photos of
I doubt it.
Me and Trim. But she's right. I'm very close with her.
When are you guys coming to dive in Australia? I wish. I don't know when, but I want to.
How long is the average cave there? It is absolutely the most random thing in the world. It's really crazy. And they don't know. They don't know that the thing about most caves that we go in, they're never thought to be fully explored. Isn't that amazing? Even Ginny Springs, the most popular cave, probably, it's still not known.
Yeah.
Where it ends.
No idea.
So it's just an unknown. That's what's so maybe intriguing about them.
All right. Let's see. When's your next rescue dive class? We don't have a plan yet, but we should.
We should. We
should try to do like once a year.
I know we get so much demand. Terry would be a part of it, and maybe Benjamin, and we get a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of work to put it together.
The one that YouTuber diver discovered. Jake from the Almighty. So that system is Peacock Springs, and they still haven't found the end of that one either. They're exploring Peacock 3 right now, which is one of the entrances, and they have no idea how far it goes. They haven't found the end.
Amazing. I'm always amazed by that.
Yep.
Have you ever named a cave? No. I got the opportunity with Mike Young to find New Passage when we did that cave exploration in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And my line is still tied off. I can still visualize looking left and out and seeing this wide open thing that continues. So maybe Mike would let me, let's be honest. He really found it, but he's lets me hold the reel. It's like, you found this, Woody. Okay. But I'm with Mike. So I get the opportunity to feel like I've discovered New Passage, but I would never be doing that without Mike.
By the way, there's this thing about like whoever finds the cave or whoever finds the passage or whoever finds this room underwater gets to name it, but it's actually whoever gets to survey it.
Oh, so really? Is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if you
found it, but you can't just keep swimming and be like, that is Red Bull's room, and then just keep swimming. No, you have to go back and survey. So guess what I'm doing on the next trip?
Nice. You set that up?
Surveying. Yep.
Wait. So I was wondering where my Perdix. That's a pink. I mean, where did that thing go?
I mean, I needed a Perdix, and I found one in the van.
That's my spare Perdix.
Well,
I didn't know it was now strapped to your board.
Well, if you see, let me see if you can read it with the light. But it says Dive Talk Cave Exploration Team. So it's a Dive Talk surveying sleigh.
I'm happy.
It's not mine. It's not yours. It's for Dive Talk.
And I agree.
It has orange and pink. I feel like orange and pink was the right.
I'm so joking. I'm actually glad that you're using it for that. And by the way, That is a badass looking survey slate. Turn it around.
Dive Talk. Hold on. Dive Talk. Oh, you can see it. Cave Exploration Team. Yeah. Here we go. And Mike gave me that, and he wrote that on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. It's not
survey
focusing.
book of the Gus. Gus, isn't it like isn't it like when you survey, you're counting like every 10 knots?
No, every knot, there's knots in the line, and they're every 10 feet. So you count the knots, and then you multiply by 10, and that's the amount of feet.
That's the amount of feet going in the same direction.
Right.
So that you write down the next survey point if the line turns. Then you count the line for how much it goes in that direction.
Yeah, so this thing will tell you everything you need. So the depth, the azimuth, which is the degrees, whatever they are going the direction, and then you count the distance, starting point, ending point, and then you plot all of that in a map.
Neat.
So I'll be doing that on the next.
That's cool. I'm not going on that trip, everybody.
Yeah.
Just because I can't. I just don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never surveyed. I've never been the one holding the survey tool.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. It's not gonna be great, but you gotta learn. You gotta learn sometime.
It will be. You'll do great. You're very good at that stuff.
All right. Let's see.
Gus is so cool.
Somebody asked
Michelle. I'm co-host.
Somebody gave us.
What about this whole look?
50 more.
Is this cool?
No. Swedish crowns. Besides knowing the diving technicalities, do you think that being in good physical shape is important to minimize the risks in diving? I think so. I think obviously if you're diving, if you need to be like an Olympian to do the kind of diving that you want to do, then I think you're doing it wrong. Like diving is supposed to be relaxing, but I think if there's an emergency, if there's an issue and you need to help somebody, you better be in shape. That's really when everything is fine, you could be 800 pounds and be underwater diving and no problem. But when you have to kick to get to a boat against current, when you have to drag somebody that went unconscious on you, that kind of thing, or pull somebody from the beach to get help, so the ambulance can help, that is when it kicks in. And there's actually, fun fact that you asked this, there's actually an agreed upon level of fitness for the level of diving that you want to do and the certification you want to do. And Doug Eversole has this table. So one of the things that we should do is go and film. So you basically go to a gym and you get on a treadmill and you do all this stuff. And then you write the notes, and then he tells you if you're fit enough to be, let's say, a cave diving instructor. Like, how would you pull somebody out of a cave against the flow and, all this stuff. So I think we should do it and see. I'm probably open water at best. In fitness.
I'm try scuba.
I
have been working out. I'm finally getting back a little.
Yeah, but I think it will be cool because this is also something you can do. You don't have to be a diver to do this, by the way. I'm just saying, like, cool. You guys watching, you can take the same table, go to the gym, screen yourself, and be like, that's awesome. I'm healthy enough to be a cave diver.
That'd be fun.
Or whatever.
We should definitely do that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe in Bonaire.
Yeah.
Be a little film. Let's film it there. Let's
do it all in Bonaire.
Doug, if you're watching this, bring that table.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for saying that.
Yeah, it would be cool to try it and see where we fit.
There's a lot of people here today. This is awesome, man. This is a big amount of viewers. Thank you. Who is better drinker out of you two? Well, what drink? I drink.
I play rugby, so I think that's enough of that conversation.
Well, I drink lemon. No, okay. I'll tell you right now. I absolutely can finish one entire shot of tequila. You can. The whole shot.
That's awesome. Good for you.
That's where I'm at.
All right. Another super chat question. Thank you. Will rescue divers preferably be in good shape since they often have to complete physically demanding tasks?
I think so.
They often don't have to do this. Like rescue divers are not often rescuing people, but if they have to, then they better be in good shape.
I do believe you should be in shape, whatever that definition is, for diving. I have preached it for years. It's in every scuba manual. It's good to be in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean you can not dive if you're in bad shape, but you're going to be a better diver. You're going to breathe less air. You're going to be a better dive buddy. You're going to be safer if you're in good shape, just like in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, Try to be in
Alex
good
is right.
shape.
Round is a shape. So that's a good point.
I used to talk up to this but with Terry all the time, and we would have some debates over it. I bet you right now she would say, I think it's good to be healthy and in better shape for diving than not.
By the way, Robin is saying that she's doing shots with you in Bonaire.
I'll
Tequila.
drink you right under the table. You cannot. Imagine my shot. Okay, when I'm done with my one shot, there will be nothing left in it.
Wow.
A whole one.
Wow.
All the way up to the line. You know where they put the little line?
Impressive.
I know. I'm badass. That way. Now, after that one shot, Robin, there's no more judgment on what may accidentally fly out of my mouth, words-wise. Because I like you. I'm just saying,
yikes.
I don't mean to, but it'll be nice stuff.
Oh, man. It's going to be beautiful.
It will be beautiful. Actually, it will be beautiful.
All right. So Michael from Germany saying that they appreciate our content and learning from the mistakes of ours and others.
Well, we'll be continuing to make mistakes. That's
sure.
one fact I can guarantee you on.
And Robin says she'll arm wrestle you after a shot of tequila.
Why not just wrestle? I mean, regular Robin.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't do not. Let's wrestle.
All right.
After my one shot, I will wrestle you so hard down to the ground.
Why not just wrestle?
This could go really in the wrong direction, which happens often on Dive Talk.
Exactly. What do you think of a underwater cave diving amusement park? Well, the deep spot pool in Poland and the deep pool in Dubai, they both have sections that are overhead. So that kind of already exists. And I think it's cool if you have the skills and the training to do it. That's awesome. What's the dive you like the most?
By the way, you cannot finish a whole beer when one of those things in the whole can. Like, let's say you pop open a beer.
Never.
The whole can?
No, never.
Those things go on forever.
Yeah, rugby players.
You didn't even finish a I mean, how do you drink a whole beer? That thing is way too much.
Exactly.
Thank you, Robin.
Somebody asked, what's the dive that you like the most ever? It was Glass Factory for me. I've done that twice, but Woody has been in that cave too. And I mean, for me, it's always been the best dive ever. We still have to do it together, Woody.
My favorite experience of diving to me in the world, even with as beautiful as those caves are. I haven't been in the Glass Factory because every time I try to go, I have catastrophic incidences. But I would say, I don't know. I keep coming back to Indonesia, guys. I mean, I went to the North Banda Sea.
Yeah.
During the time of the year where you could go there in Indonesia, I cried. I've never, ever seen anything underwater so magnificent. So,
you ever dive in Oregon? No, I've never even been to Oregon. Somebody asked if we've ever dived hungover. No. I mean, and you will see in Bonaire or whatever, I have like a drink or two, like after the dive, mid-afternoon. I do. I have like one drink or whatever, but not like I'm not doing tequila shots.
No, I'll drink a whole Coke there.
Okay. And but that's it. But I don't drink or smoke before or doing dive trips or whatever. No.
I have dove in England. I have with Steve Pryor. Oh, let's see.
And we've been at
Chuck Lagoon is up there for me too. Forgot about that.
That's
Chuck or Truck on a rebreather. Oh my God. It would be awesome, by the way, on the go, because most of the wrecks, by the way, in Truck are recreational depths. They're 130 feet or above. It's warm, clear water. Thank you, Price, CCR diver.
That's awesome. Thank you. And for the super chat, and also somebody said, have you ever encountered a remora while diving?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and those things are pests.
One time there was one random one, and guess who he wanted to attach to? Not the fish. I'm like, first of all, what giant shark did you come off of, and why are you attaching to me? They're nasty scavenger looking things.
Oh, man.
But there's a lot of them in Florida. So yes, I have been. A remora has sucked.
That's okay.
Up onto me. What?
Uh,
See how you go the wrong.
have you dove in Dominican Republic? No, I've been to
Yes,
Dominican Republic, but
I
I've
have.
never been diving there.
I have. I have. It's okay. They've beaten it up a good bit.
I'm curious how much longer I can stay under on a single tank now that I'm no longer smoking. That's a good
Yeah,
thing
it
to
depends on
test.
the depth, right? And
Right.
so that's a vague question, but depends on your dive depth.
Right.
I don't know. I've never felt motion sickness while cave diving. Even in a silt out,
Oh, this
I've
is a good
never felt
question.
it. I don't know. I don't know if it's a
This is
thing.
a good question. What Dive Talk Reacts episode has stuck with you the most? That's a good question.
You know what? I think to me, one of the funniest ones that we keep saying we need to do another one on is the stereotypes. We had a blast doing it, if you remember.
Yeah.
And we want to do we did the student or the diver stereotype. Now we have a whole bunch of ideas for the instructor stereotype. That was a lot of fun to film it.
Yeah, we should do one of those. Yeah, to me, there's several that have stuck with me. I mean, I think I remember all of them. I feel like if you reference one that you watch, my mind immediately goes to, oh yeah, I remember that. But I think the first one that we saw with the Italian guy that his eyes were popping out of his mask,
Wow.
that is always funny. That's
Gosh.
never not funny.
It was unbelievable how badly scarred he was, man. Oh my God, it was brutal.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Talk about a barotrauma. That's like the definition of it. It's all he had to do was go in his nose. It would have cleared.
Yeah, exactly. Did we dive in Budapest? Not yet. Not yet.
I know we have a lot to do.
Have you ever been scared or surprised by seeing a sea creature? Not really. I mean, I've been surprised going through wrecks and then like you would turn on like a dark place and there's like a 600-pound grouper in there just chilling. You'd be like, whoa, there's like this big grouper, but nothing scary.
What did you learn positive from Woody incident?
Hmm.
I learned that there is something very positive that I learned. I just brought it back into my brain because I'm going to talk about it on the follow-up episode. It's something very important.
Mm-hmm. Do you practice breath holds? Do they help with diving? I don't practice, and I'm not sure if they help with diving, to be honest.
We definitely don't want a breath hold while diving, that's for sure.
Yeah. How about the Australian guy that got lost at sea and found by an airplane looking for smugglers? That was crazy. Yeah, Jake Childs is his name. Jacob Childs. I haven't heard from Jake in a while. We stayed in touch. I have to follow up with him, but yeah, that was a good episode too. Have you ever abandoned a dive right before the start because of a bad gut feeling, which then turned to be true? I don't think so. I mean, I've had to abandon dive because of equipment, but never because of a gut feeling. No.
Equipment issues only.
I think it's a lot of it has to do with mindset too. Like I remember when I was learning how to fly, my instructor said, he told me this, Mike, he said, not Mike Young, some other guy. He said, you know how people feel, they tell you that when they're flying, they feel like a bird and they feel free, that they're up in the sky or whatever. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like I'm operating a machine in the sky. That's how it feels. And that's how I feel too. And that's how I feel when I go diving. When I go cave diving, I don't feel like free and all this other stuff. I just feel like I'm operating a rebreather that allows me to live underwater. So
agree. Hey, Gus, there's a really good question for you. Yeah. It talks about where did it go? Did you ever?
I can scroll up.
Not too far.
Okay.
It's like, Gus, how did you feel about, where is it? About the whole incident after it? How did it affect you mentally? Or it was for you? Is a good question.
This one?
That's for you. Read that and you answer that.
Yeah. So this is from Charlie Mitchell. It says, how do you handle such a scary thing happening to Woody? Was there a moment when it all hit? Not really. I mean, the way my head works, my mind works is like, identify the problem, and then how do we solve it? I don't have time to sit back and dwell on what happened or like I'm not like that. And I think that's I don't know if we call it a defect, but that is something that has really helped me in life where like, people around me are like super concerned about something. And for me, my brain goes, is there anything you can do to change the outcome? No, then don't worry about it. Like for some reason, my brain works like that. So when the whole situation happened with Woody, I was kind of like operating on whatever the situation that was happening at the time. And once that happened, I wasn't sitting back and dwelling on like, oh, like he could have died or anything like that. And I think that's why I made jokes about like when you completely passed out and came back. Like you came back and I wasn't worried about the fact that you were just passed out for several minutes and you could have died. Like I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, were you resting in peace? Like I was just like, that's how the way my brain works. And that really has helped me in life.
Yeah, he stayed calm the whole time.
I don't have lasting effects. Like I'll go diving with Woody today if I could. Like I don't feel anything like, oh, let's careful. Like no, it's like that's in the past. You're recovered. You got a clean bill of health. Like your doctors are like, you're good. Wait 30 days and then try again. So let's go try again. Like I'm not.
Yeah. I do like that at times we actually were working together to resolve the problem. Like when I ended up in that public hospital in Nassau, we were talking like, listen, we can't stay here. We got to make some changes. So here's what we're going to do. And if you recall, we kind of both worked it.
Yeah.
We worked a plan to get out of there.
Yeah.
And I liked that. It was calm. We weren't panicking. We weren't screaming.
Yeah. And if you listen to the recordings, I don't know if you listen to the recordings from Dan, like even call number 1, where I'm supposed to be at my most like scare or whatever. It's like the lady on the other side is almost like, did this happen like yesterday? Is this not an emergency? Like what, there's no reason to be losing your mind. It's sort of like, here's what happened. What do I do next?
Yeah.
How do I get him out to Nassau, to the chamber? Like, what are the next steps?
Yeah. I was less than friendly on only one of them. One of them, I lost it where the lady was so irrational on her comments, telling us that it was absolutely impossible to fly out of Abaco at night. I'm like, I'm already did.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, it's not impossible. Or anyway, I don't want to go there, but I will tell you now they really, really are working on some great change. So no, he was great. And
have you ever panicked during a dive and had to calm yourselves down? So I think the closest one for me was the first time I went to Woody's room, because to get to Woody's room, you have to, squeeze yourself through like a super tight, silty tunnel that is a muddy mess. And when you pop out in Woody's room, you realize that you have to go through that again. There's no other exit. And now you're going out in zero vis. And I'm just looking at my equipment and it's all covered in mud. My MAV is covering mud. My first stages are covering mud. Like everything is mud. And I'm like, first of all, I hope all this stuff works. Second of all, I think like if something malfunctioned now, I have to go through all of that while bailed out. Like it's and at that point you have to catch yourself and be like, well, why would it fail? Like this is not going to fail. I'll be fine. And then you have to kind of enjoy this perilous situation that you're in. It's like, okay, I made it to Woody's room. Like not a lot of people come here. I'm just going to enjoy my dive. And I just swim around, enjoy Woody's room, dreading that I need to go back through all that mess. It's like, and you feel it in your heart. You're like, I'm feeling the nerves that I'm going to have to go back through that. But, again, my brain goes into, is there anything you can do to change that? No, I have to go back through that. Okay, then don't worry about it. Enjoy the dive.
I actually enjoy when I'm in those moments. I don't know what happens. I come up with a sense of calmness. When I'm nervous, the same thing I'm always nervous about before a cave dive, and it's only one thing: getting all the gear organized and putting it on. Every time I whine to Gus about that. Once I have the gear on and I'm underwater, I'm in heaven. But I don't enjoy the process like many do of, we got to rig our gear and streamline it and get it all on. No, I would rather just snap my fingers and all of that is on and I'm on the dive. Once I'm on the dive, I just don't get a feeling of nervousness.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like the tight places, but I don't like dealing with all the gear. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's why I love the Go.
In my
I
head,
like simple gear. Like I don't want all
the
that
Go
crap,
is as
man.
simple as
The
gets.
Go is like
Unbelievable.
click, 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 and you just go.
Yeah. But I remember in that dive in particular, my brain goes into, okay, just visualize the exit. At some point, the line is gonna cross over. You have to push down and go over it and squeeze through this tunnel. Like I'm just thinking about it. Once my hand touches this rock, I know that the tunnel, it's gonna be 5 feet away or whatever, and you go through it. Your brain kind of goes into cave diver mode.
Okay, Scott, we get that. We get it asked us a lot. There is no, it is impossible to determine what caused DCS.
Right.
I don't have a PFO, physically checked out amazing. Maybe it was dehydration. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was that I was winded that day. They cannot determine it. In fact, it's very common where they're just like, it's just a one-off thing. You have no idea why it caused.
All right, Mike asked a good question. Based on your recent experience with Dan, would you recommend that people should carry additional dive insurance in addition to that? This question I think is in the same category of, oh, instead of Dan, I'm going to use Dive Assure, or instead of Dive Assure, I'm going to insert my Australian equivalent of Dan here. My question is, if you were in that situation in Abaco, right, and you were bent, how does that company change to the way Dan would have performed? Like in Dan's defense, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, they said, we were not aware of a company that can fly out of there. We were not aware that you can even fly out of there at night. So finding a company that can even do that, something that we thought it was impossible, was just not an option. So they flat out said, it is true. We did not provide the air ambulance. And the reason why we didn't is because until now, we thought that it was impossible. All right. We proved that was possible. And now they're changing to reflect that. So that's cool. So how would your company act differently? You have this awesome Australian insurance. They would never do what then. Okay. If you were bent in the Bahamas, they would have just known that the Bahamas you can fly. Like, I'm not really sure. And for people that said, should I cancel my Dan insurance? The question is, and then what? What are you going to get a different insurance, or are you just going to be uninsured and be able to front the cost? Because the challenge is, if that happens to you, you would have to pay out of pocket and then reimbursed you for all the expenses. Or maybe not all of them. I don't know so far if they reimburse you for everything or not, but they have been reimbursing you for it. So
they have.
Yes, you had to upfront the costs and they reimburse you later. Nobody should have to do that, by the way. Let's make that clear. Dan should have paid for it. All right. But if you didn't have that insurance, you would have had to pay for it, and then you're not going to get anything back. So $30,000, $40,000, whatever it was at the end, you would have been out of all of that out of pocket. So if you can afford that, if you're a millionaire and you don't care, then yeah, you don't need Dan, I guess.
I don't think you should cancel Dan, but I am waiting to see from this meeting to determine what disclosures Dan should make to the public about the kind of coverage and emergency rescue you should expect. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want full disclosure. And also, it later turned out that American Express would have paid for it all as a backup to my primary insurance.
I'm sure Dan was thrilled.
So when I found that out from American Express, like, by the way, we have the same thing. We will reimburse you for it all if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
I was shocked to hear. I didn't know that was another benefit of American Express.
That's awesome.
But I do think that Dan is important to have, and I do believe that with the changes they're going to make, we should keep that. We should keep that right now, and we should then make sure they're disclosing clearly what you can expect, especially based on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
I think we may have to wrap it up here soon. We've said 45 minutes just because I have to go.
We've been at it for an hour and 23 minutes.
And there's so many people on right now, but
yeah. After this incident, are you going to change any dive protocols or add any safety protocols to avoid more incidents like this? Because we don't know even what caused it. It's impossible to prevent DCS from happening again.
I'll be more conscious of hydration if that is even anything to do with what caused it. Yeah. I'm far from convinced of that, but
yeah, you should stay hydrated. I'm even if you're doing a 20-foot dive.
More conscious. Like, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to run out and get a P valve because then I'll hydrate. That was the dumbest comment. Guys, You really think I didn't hydrate because I don't have a pee valve? I know I'm not going to hydrate, then I won't have to pee. Like, come on. So I would say just be conscious that you can get bent. So dive conservatively.
Yeah.
All the time. Always. That should never be, that's not new.
Yeah. And yeah, as we wrap up this live, don't forget divetalkmeetup.com to come and dive with us for a week in Bon Air. It's going to be awesome. Also, shopdivetalk.com. Somebody asked, how do we get merch? Shopdivetalk.com. And we ship all over the world. And, again, we really appreciate that you're wearing Dive Talk out there, especially if you're a diver and other people can see. And if we find the watch that we gave away already,
sure you will by
250. Okay. If we find the watch, we'll find a way to give it away again.
Probably in one of these many piles. I'm thinking, or I stepped on it. Guys,
okay.
You 99.9% of you were beyond supportive, beyond through this whole thing to me. Thank you. Wait for episode 2. A lot of things out there aren't even related remotely to what the facts were, and that's okay. It stimulated a lot of conversation. Good will come from this, and we're back. See you guys soon.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you all.
Bye, everybody.